They call me the freak, man.
Why they call you the freak?
Because I'm a freak of nature. You're going to see today. Just keep your eyes glued to the TV. What's up, NFL Films? I don't know who got this. NFL Films got this, huh? Hey, NFL Films, I know y'all got this on your mic. Whatever y'all, what y'all want this week, man? I'm tired of talking to the microphone. What do y'all want? We're trying to get to the playoffs. That's all I can tell you. Hit him right in the head, shake and bake. Let's go. Watch out, cameraman.
So, let me do the big picture here, because I went back last night and looked hard at this. So let's go off the field, because we're going to have to do this because it's going to come up. So I'm not piling on here. I'm just restating the facts about Randy Moss. Remember, he had a big incident driving downtown in Minneapolis in which he, with his car, bumped into a traffic officer and got arrested, and they found marijuana in the car, and he had several marijuana incidents during his NFL career. He had a domestic abuse incident. It came and it went, but he did have one, and it happened. And then, to your point, he often admitted he played when he wanted to or took plays off. And then, remember, Randy walked off the field before a game was over when they were barely losing.
Washington.
Yeah, we got that. He mooned. I didn't have
that was in Green Bay,
but it happened. He squirted a ref with a water bottle because he was mad at him, and he bumped another referee and got fined for that. He verbally abused an entire busload of corporate sponsors on the way back from a practice. Do you remember this? And then a very
That's what got him out of Minnesota, I think.
Well, then the next one was a very popular Minnesota restaurateur that a lot of the players patronized his restaurant, served a big spread post-practice, and Randy said loudly to everybody listening, "I wouldn't feed this to my dog. Why are we eating this?" And that got him waived by the Vikings.
Yeah. I tell you what, watch the tape. But they said in the bylaws, in the original bylaws of the Hall of Fame voting, off the field issues should not weigh in. You're talking about what did the guy do between that 53-110? What did he do?
And obviously Randy Moss, did he not hit the ground running?
Randy is a freak of nature.
He was a freak of nature right away as a rookie.
Right.
And he sort of, can we use the word revolutionize the deep pass in the National Football League as a rookie? And remember, he wanted Dallas to draft him. Remember what he did to Dallas on Thanksgiving Day that year?
Yeah.
Peter?
I'll jump in first. Let's go right to his rookie year. 1998 was an interesting draft. Randy Moss was widely considered the most talented player in the entire NFL draft. And the Dallas Cowboys are number 8 on the clock. They had a desperate need for a new wide receiver. Jerry Jones, as I'm told by Randy Moss, kind of gave an indication that he might be selecting Randy Moss. The pick comes up. They take a gentleman named Greg Ellis. And Randy Moss, crestfallen, devastated. Finally, the Minnesota Vikings are on the board, and Dennis Green tells Brian Billick, "We're getting this guy." Calls up Randy Moss, makes the pick, and Randy Moss becomes a Minnesota Viking. We fast forward to Thanksgiving Day. Randy Moss having this outstanding rookie season, and who does he play? Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys. And oh, baby, I love the old spot scrap. Robert Smith, let's go deep. Randall's got it here. Who's he got?
Here is Cunningham back to throw it and going deep, and he's got Moss. There's a flag on the play, and Moss is on the pass, and it's in the end zone anyway.
Sorry, Omar Stoutmeyer and Kevin Smith, not today. One more.
Randy Moss breaks a tackle, and Randy Moss races down the sideline, and Randy Moss.
3 catches the entire game. Just 3 catches.
My man had an angle.
163 yards and 3 touchdowns on Thanksgiving. National audience in Jerry's building. You passed on me in the draft.
God.
You passed on me. I'm going to do this to you. I'm going to rip your heart out. Randy Moss, a international superstar, a national coming out party on Thanksgiving Day. Madden and Summerall on the call. Beat that.
Yeah, okay. And then, obviously, he goes to Oakland, and he basically just kind of shut it down a little bit.
So here's the next chapter of the story.
Okay.
It wasn't working in Oakland. It just wasn't working. Randy openly talking to the media how I don't want to be here anymore. I'm going to be gone. Lane Kiffin didn't want him.
Offense coordinator for the Raiders, Tom Walsh, said, Randy Moss is a player whose skills are diminishing, and he's in denial of those eroding skills.
You start to hear chatter that the Patriots, the New England Patriots, might be interested in Randy Moss. April 29, 2007, at 2:30 in the morning, for the first time, Bill Belichick speaks to Randy Moss about becoming a Patriot. And sure enough, in a mushroom cloud news break, Randy Moss is a New England Patriot. He shows up, and here's all the talking. Randy Moss shows up in the Patriots, but okay, what has he got left? All the talk is he's washed. He doesn't have it. It was a great run in Minnesota.
Eroding.
He's out. They put him on the shelf. We do not see Randy Moss. We didn't see Brady and Moss and all those guys. So more mystery. What is this going to look like, Randy, number 81? Week 1, Pats Jets. Moss in the uniform for the first time. Jim Nantz is openly talking about the idea that Moss maybe just doesn't have it anymore. It might be a great run. This is the tail end of a career. We'll see if it works. And Randy Moss, in his first game as a New England Patriot, 9 catches, guys, 183, and a touchdown of the 51-yard variety. It was an unbelievable showing, and I remember there was this shockwave around the league about, oh no, what just happened? We let Tom Brady have the greatest wide receiver in the world.
Yeah?
16 weeks later, Randy Moss has broken the record for most receiving touchdowns ever. Tom Brady's broken the record for most passing touchdowns ever. And after the game, they go to Moss's locker, and there's a reporter who goes to Moss. Moss has got the rose in, Moss is shirtless, and Moss is in his element. He's like, I dare anybody to ask me a question about anything. And this guy goes, do you feel this time with the New England Patriots is going to revitalize your career? And he goes, I don't need to revitalize nothing. Everybody know who I am. That's it. And it was unbelievable. I got goosebumps as I said it. Yeah. And they went on to have the greatest season in wide receiver history.
Ah, yeah, Kyle.
Oh, Randy.
And those are moments people don't understand. People don't hear about. They read about Randy. They saw the stories that were sensationalized in the media and was like, I don't like that guy. But if you were with him every day, you would love him.
I don't know. He didn't even seem to try in Oakland. Then he had another, like a bounce-back year, the magic year with Belichick and Brady, when he had 23 touchdowns, 1,493 yards.
Listen, well, I'll take it. For me, the moment's a little bit different because it's extremely personal. Because I played next to Randy Moss, and I was able to elevate my game because he taught me how to. Football players are defined by what they do on the field, but I also feel like they're defined by their impact they have on players. And Randy Moss had a ton of misconceptions about him, that he was selfish, he didn't care about his teammates, that he was a jerk. And I saw him first-hand basis every single day and had these deep conversations with him, and I realized he's just misunderstood. And not in the way that people say just to cover up for a guy that's a little bit of a jerk, a real misunderstood man. He made plays over and over again. In the meetings, he took care of the young guys, invited us to his house. He gave us cash. He gave us clothes. He did all these things and then showed us how to be better wide receivers. There was a moment where he was the best player in football. He stopped me in the hallway after tearing his hamstring, and he knew he was going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. And for everybody at home, a lot of top-tier wide receivers are divas, and they don't want anybody else to eat. Everything on the table is theirs. The plate in front of them, they're going to have all the food. Randy Moss stops me. He says, hey, Burleson, come here. And I'm like, what's up? He's like, I'm going to be out. Be out 4 to 6 weeks. You take advantage. Get catches, score touchdowns. And I walked away. I'm like, all right. It's a big boy moment now, Nate. Grow up. Second year in the league, go get some. Put up 1,000 yards. The year I had 1,000 yards, which was the benchmark for me, kind of put me on the map. I thought to myself, that's how I got to look at life. If anybody gives me the opportunity to take advantage of the situation, I'm going to take advantage of it and score a touchdown every single time. So for me, Randy Moss, who everybody thought was this guy who separated himself from the average player on the team, nah. And for me, Randy Moss is more than just a Hall of Famer. He's more than just one of the best receivers in the game. He's one of my big brothers.
Room service. Welcome to Canton, Ohio.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. Thank you, Mr. Baker. Thank you, man.
Hey, Randy.
Yes, sir.
On behalf of,
Thank you, God.
Come on, baby.
Thank you, Jesus.
come on here, guys. You guys can come up here. Come on up here. How you doing? Good to see you.
My wife.
Good to see you.
Mr. Baker.
Thank you,
Good to
God.
see you.
Thank you,
I'm president of the
God.
Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Oh, man.
Hey, on behalf of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, on behalf of your fellow Hall of Famers, on behalf of all of us who love the game, it's my privilege to welcome you to Canton, Ohio, which will be your new home for the rest of time. Okay? And Randy, I want to thank you for all you've done for the game, for all you're going to do for the game. Okay, Randy, and I want to thank you so much because this is going to be the beginning of your journey, not the end of your football career. We're going to put a gold jacket on you. We're going to give you a bronze bust. We're going to give you a ring of excellence. Okay, and the things you're going to do with that are incredible. You're going to change people's lives just like this is going to change your life.
Thank you, Mr. Baker.
So thank you. Now, here's a couple things I need from you guys, okay? No social media, no tweets, no phone calls, because we're going to, you're now in the business.
Thank you.
And we're going to reveal you to the nation live on the Honor Show, right now. And we got to kind of get over there because there's a lot of snow.
Getting dressed now.
Okay?
All right.
So God bless you, brother.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for all you've done for me.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Randy Moss for enshrinement into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Thaddeus Moss.
First and foremost, I want to give honor to God. Without God being in my life, none of this, me being here on this earth, me being here in this gold jacket, would not be possible. So I want to give my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ all the love that he deserves for putting me here in Canton, Ohio. And I already know the question in your head. What am I made of? Faith, family, and football. That's what makes Randy Moss. Sunday night introduction. Where are you from? The state of West Virginia. Are you in the house? Believe me when I tell you all where I come from, I knew I had to carry you all. From the bottom of my heart, I knew a lot of people out there struggling. Really wanted to see a young kid from Rand, West Virginia, grew up the same way that a lot of kids out there grew up, struggling, single parent, single family homes. I want to give all my thanks to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. He brought me through some tough times. Social, economic ignorance, racism. Last but not least, poverty. I know God put me here to teach and to lead others down the right path. But first I had to learn from my own mistakes. Not for 1 second did I not think God was in control of my life, because he gave me a wonderful praying mother. All I wanted to do was play football. My mom knew nothing about sports. Raised by a single mother from the uncorporated streets of Rand, West Virginia, providing for 3. Mama, if they're here celebrating me for all my accomplishments, Mama, all I wanted to do was just celebrate you, give you the things that we never had. Being able to work 2 and 3 jobs to provide for us, Mama. You took care of us. But I cannot forget my small, unincorporated community, Rand, West Virginia. That's where it all started. That was the foundation. Raised in the streets. All y'all boys, all y'all ladies know, for those years that we were in Rand, West Virginia, where nobody even checked on us, did not care what was going on, we stuck together. There's a lot of country folk out here, and I'm proud to be from the state of West Virginia. We have one well-knitted community, and from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank my community and the state for all the love and support. It really means a lot to me. Sydney, Thaddeus, Lexi, Lyric, Tigo, Nolly, Siley, Little Lourdes, Randy, Taryn, and Ariana. The love and the passion and sacrifice that I showed for 14 years was for you all. Every praise, every record, touchdown, endorsement was all out of the love that I have for you all. I now realize that you all had to sacrifice too, because Uncle and Daddy was not there all the time, or even when you need Daddy. And I'm sorry for that. But I'm here now. Daddy here now. God gave me a beautiful, smart, loving family that made me coming to work on Sunday easy. Daddy and Uncle Ran did it all for you all. You all are my responsibility, and now, let you all know, we are in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Lydia, my beautiful wife, when we retired from the NFL, I told you that my kids were in turmoil. It's like a triple beam scale. I got my career in this hand, and I got my kids over here struggling in this hand. The first thing that came out your mouth was, let's go get them. National Football League, I love the game so much, man, but I had to leave it. My kids, I had to get my kids. Baby, that solidified our bond as a couple. And true love, you'll do anything for, good or bad. I want to thank you for being my rock and the glue to our family. Thank you, baby. I love you. When I came into the NFL, I had no sense of direction. I never knew so many people wanted me to fail. Why? Is it because of the man he made me to be, or the talent he blessed me with? The hatred, ridicule, and assassination of a man's character is exactly what I grew up reading in the Bible. Isaiah chapter 54, verse 17. No weapon formed against me shall prosper, and every tongue that rises up in judgment will be condemned. For all my teammates, coaches, equipment managers that's in attendance today, I want to thank you all, because it doesn't take one, it takes all 11 of us. To the Kraft family, thank you for ignoring the noise and welcoming me with open arms. It was God's will for us to be able to cross paths. And Mr. Kraft, the late Meyer Kraft, gave me a handshake and told me she was glad that I was here. And I want to thank you personally for finding out on your own if I was real or not. Thank you, Kraft family. Last but not least, I'm not going to forget about you. Bill Belichick, I'm not going to forget about you. I want to thank you for being a friend when it wasn't always about football. You showed me how much I love the game. You challenged me every day to go out here and be great. You challenged me to be great, coach. And I'm sorry we did not bring it home. And with all that said, I'm bringing this gold jacket back tomorrow at the town center, 4:30. All y'all West Virginians want to see this gold jacket. Meet me at the town center tomorrow at 4:30. I got a little work to do here, but I will be home as soon as I'm done so y'all can lay eyes on this gold jacket, because this is ours. All the way from the streets of Rand, West Virginia, Maxine Patricia Moss. We are in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. God bless and have a good night.
Shannon, what was your biggest takeaway from the weekend?
I was shocked with Randy Moss. And all the speeches were good. Bobby Beathard, I know him. You know, I was in the league when he was a general manager. Urlacher played against him. It was great. But to hear Randy get up there and hearing him talk and about his faith and hearing him talk about how his family and his mom in particular, growing up in Rand, West Virginia, I did not know how much faith and family meant to Randy Moss. Skip, you know, people think because you play in a league with someone, you know that person. To hear him talk, Skip, I was really, really impressed with Randy Moss. I got a whole new profound respect for him, and I learned so much more about him.
Likewise, I'm going to get to Randy's speech in one moment. But first of all, I have to ask the question, why was Bill Belichick there? I want to know the answer to that question. And so was Mr. Kraft.
Yes.
Robert Kraft
Yes.
was there.
Yes.
And why would Belichick and Kraft show up for this induction? I don't know. It surprised me.
Skip, the fans in New England, they still revere Randy because of what he was able to do. And Randy said in his speech, Coach Belichick challenged me. And remember, I told you, great players want to be coached. They want to be pushed. And if they have questions, they want you to answer them. And the really good, the great coaches can get you to do things you don't think you can do.
I got that.
So he has the utmost respect for Coach Belichick.
So it just seemed like a little bit of a reach for Belichick and Kraft to be part of that induction ceremony. It rubbed me the wrong way.
Randy said he was surprised. He did not know they were
Really?
going to come.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't know they were there. When he was saying, Coach Belichick, I'm not going to forget about you, Coach Belichick was backstage. Randy had no idea that Mr. Kraft and Coach Belichick were there. He had no idea that they were going to be there. So he was shocked when he finished his speech and Coach Belichick and Mr. Kraft walked on stage. He was shocked. I mean, you could see the look on his face like, you guys are here?
Well, that's nice, but did they want to share the spotlight? I don't know.
Well,
how it came across to me.
Both of those guys will have a gold jacket.
Well, did Belichick want to get inducted that night? Like, is it an add-on at the end? Let's just go ahead and put him in the Hall of Fame. I don't know.
He might wear flip-flops.
He might. So, now to the speech. I did not see Randy Moss coming, and he stole the show. I'm sitting with Ernestine watching this, and she says, God, I love this guy, but she doesn't really know him as a player.
Right.
And I said, well, trust me on this. The time he spent in Minnesota, I'm not sure you would have loved him. Loved him? Like, there was one controversy after another in which he was verbally abusive, obviously to referees, to all people in authority, to sponsors, to teammates, to coaches. It was just one incident after another after another. But I said Randy Moss for me was a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yes.
But all of a sudden, to your point, he starts off with faith, family, and football. And I said, whew, where did that come from? Who is this guy?
Right.
And I bought it because he sold it genuinely. He didn't even need to sell it. It just came across like straight from the heart.
He did.
And I said, where did this spirituality come from? I didn't know he was a spiritual, and he just went on and on about how important God is in his life and how God and family come first and always came first. And actually said he retired at that one point because he had to go put his family back in order. Remember that?
Yes.
And just going back and forth with his wife about it. And I saw a new guy.
He's grown and matured, Skip. The maturity that he's shown since he's been out of the league, and you watch him grow as an analyst, and you watch him grow as a father and as a person, sometimes it takes us longer to become the person that we want to become, that we need to become. But the fact of the matter is that he became that person. Sorry that it took so long. Skip, he was special.
I found his speech to be fascinating for a few reasons. That speech was the country goodness that I came for and hoped to get from Randy Moss, because I can appreciate somebody who's that country and has no desire to be anything else.
It is fascinating to have Randy Moss in specific be an emblem of West Virginia, because that does complicate and make more complex our conceptions of what West Virginia is all about.
He had the racism stuff straight on.
The racism and his acknowledgement of that made its way into his wardrobe.
Yes.
So if we can show Randy Moss's tie as well.
Yeah, this was interesting. Now, these are all people who were killed by police. Many believe wrongly is the best way for us to put it, because the law kind of went the other direction. And he was just saying that, you know, for those families, there's a lot of things going on in the country, and you are not forgotten. He navigated when he talked about it, right? He knew, okay, these are the things you can say, these are the things you can't say. Randy Moss had no idea what the things were that you could not say when he was in the NFL. He just said whatever it happened to be.
That's right. And if you look ahead as to how people are going to talk about this stuff, maybe this is a way forward, right?
Yeah. We have been on a voyage with him that culminated in this way, and I don't think it could have culminated any better than it did. That was part of it. The other thing was, for him, it is a thing to be like, hey man, West Virginia made it. That was kind of a running theme in all these speeches that were draped in all the egomania that comes from being a good football player in the way that they are, while also telling people it wasn't just about me. Y'all made me better than everybody else.
Well, in fact, my favorite part of this speech was his shout out to his hometown. And if we can roll the video of him asking to be taken home down those country roads.
A lot of country folk out here, and I'm proud to be from the state of West Virginia. And with all that said, I'm bringing this gold jacket back tomorrow at the town center, 4:30. All y'all West Virginians want to see this gold jacket, meet me at the town center tomorrow at 4:30.
He's so serious. He said, when I'm done here, I'm gonna come there as soon as I'm done so y'all can lay eyes on this gold jacket. And they lined up to lay eyes on that gold jacket.
He said that HD wasn't good enough.
Yikes.
You need to see the thread count of this in person. And he did go. He showed up.
He showed up.
People were there.
But you gotta remember.
Well, you could tell by the length of the line at the Charleston Town Center just how much Randy Moss is loved in this area. Hundreds of people came out to celebrate with the newly inducted Hall of Famer. And while it was a treat for all the fans, Moss says this community is the reason behind that gold jacket.
I wanted to bring this Hall of Fame jacket back to the state of West Virginia to let you all know anything that you put your heart to, it can happen and dreams do come true.
The now Pro Football Hall of Fame receiver Randy Moss is living proof of that. And he's sharing his new gold jacket with the home state that shaped him.
I'm all about family. I'm all about putting smiles on people's faces. You know, I've had a bumpy road. I've had a hard road, and there's been a lot of people here to pray or, you know, being able to help me through everything that I've been through. And I owed it to the people. The love is overwhelming, man, and I'm glad to be able to bring a jacket like this back to the state.
Moss was born in Charleston and raised in the small town of Rand. Out of the hundreds lined up for autographs, many were familiar faces.
It was just a thrill to know that this little kid from Rand, and you know, he had a good attitude about him too. So it was awesome.
There was a special needs girl in junior high that he used to always help. Her name was Lynn Sparks, and that right there told me what kind of character he was. No matter what anybody had to say about him, he always helped people, and he has a big heart.
Many local kids have only been able to watch highlights of their hometown hero, but finally got to meet the legend in person.
As soon as he said it, I looked over to my parents and was like, oh, we gotta go.
One of his games, he broke his hand from catching the ball in one hand. He broke like his whole hand, but still made the touchdown too.
For Moss, it's all about the kids who are just like him.
I know there were some kids to be able to bug their mom, to bug their grandparents. We have to go, because I would have done the same. And for them to be able to physically touch me, to touch this jacket, that's what I came here for.
In Charleston, I'm Alex Wilkins, 13 News, working for you.
Yeah, NFL Films, touchdown, put it on. I told you and I told you, touchdown.